Hey guys, welcome. It's Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Welcome to Friday. It's July 12th, and I'm going to be finishing up. I hope finishing up. This is the fourth in the series of this spaghetti box junk journal. So it is tall and skinny, covered with fabric. It's got a little bit of fabric stuff on there, covered with fabric, with yellow cardstock on the inside. I created this little pocket here for the little spaghetti box window so that we could use that just as a feature on the cover. So I got to figure out the cover and finish the inside, which I just have three things to do. I want to, where we left off last time, I was letting these pages dry where I had added that trim. Really beautiful, right? So I had already installed this one, so I thought I would install this one to show you how easy it is with this type of binding to install that. And then I had prepared this trim, so I'm going to install that, and then I want to do a little stamping on the inside. We're done with the inside, and then we'll go to the outside and do the cover. So, good morning. Hey, Missy. Hello, friend. Welcome. Hey, Mary Lodovic. How are you, girl? What's happening, you guys? Tell me what you're up to. I would love to know. I just came from a yard sale. I love yard sailing, but I don't go to them very often. I don't know why. I just don't have and I'm not usually organized enough. I usually find out about it afterwards and I'm like, man, I should have gone. But I did go this morning only because my son, his wrestling coach from high school, he just graduated from high school, wrestling coach from high school, messaged me last night and said, oh, tell Landon that this yard sale has that bike he's looking for. So I was like, okay. Forgot to tell Landon last night, but this morning I called him at work because he had already left work and I said, hey, Coach Flynn said there's this bike you might want. And he's like, what bike, Mom? Tell me what bike. So I explained to him. He's like, oh, yes. Yeah, it's like an exercise bike. It's not a bike you take outside and ride in the neighborhood. It's a stationary bike that you sit on, exercise bike. And he's like, Mom, yeah. Oh my gosh, can you go get it? I can't because I'm working. So I was like, okay, I'll go get it. Well, I go to get this bike, you guys. Got the bike, thankfully. I scored the bike, which was exciting enough. But they also had some great like women's clothing, and I got a purse, like a quilted purse that's so cute. I wish I thought to bring it here to show you. It's really cute. I got a pair of jeans. I got a couple of like tops. I got it all for like $20. I was like, oh my gosh, what a great morning. Did you ever go to a yard sale and just feel real good afterwards? I was like, what a blessing this yard sale was to me. And I ran into a sweet friend, Elizabeth, who I don't get to see very often. We're both busy mamas, and our kids went to school together. But once they left elementary school, strangely enough, the kids kind of went in different directions in terms of their activities. So I don't get to see Elizabeth very often naturally. Um, so it was really good to run into her and visit with her. So I had a really good morning at this yard sale. It was like an unexpected little God wink blessing in my life today. So I hope you have a God wink blessing like that in your life this today or this weekend. It's the weekend now. Missy is painting some wooden storage boxes for a change in look. Get it, girl. You've been busy doing that, and I appreciate that about you. You're probably like me. I get a little bored after a while with something in a room, and then I'm like, oh, what can I do differently there? Either move it to another place or change what's in that area or paint it. So good for you. I'm glad you're doing that. Well, I'm going to get to the screen big on the table so you can see this most of all. And let me just show you where we are, and let's just chat. You guys chat with me in the comments. Let me know when you get here, whether you're catching this live or on the replay. If you could please, let me just do a quick selfish plug. If you could please make sure that you like this video, hit the little like button on the video itself, the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out immensely. Watching the videos in real time also helps us out immensely. So thank you to all of you who are doing those things. Okay, I told you. Last time we were together, I was waiting for these pages to dry and for this trim to dry. I had put a little bit of this clear gel tacky glue on the edge because once I cut this trim, it starts unraveling quickly. Then what I did, because I want to put this on the edge of these papers, I also picked a couple of places where I could add more glue so that I could cut there and know it's not going to unravel. So I I know you can't see it, but I can feel when I run my hand along the soft fabric part of this trim. There it is. I can feel the glue. So I'm going to cut those to put on. I'm going to install this one. We're going to do a little stamping and then the insides will be done. I have 2 signatures. Let me find the beginning of this one. I have 2 signatures in this book. There's the in-between space. It is a hidden spine in the way that you cannot see the jute rope on the outside the way I did it. So check out the previous videos. Like I said, this is video 4 for this particular Spaghetti Box Junk Journal. So check out the other videos, but it's a hidden spine. And these pages, the way they're tied in, we can slip pages in and out. So I let this dry, and then I added one to the center of the first signature. So let's add one to the center of this signature. And look what it does. I love trim that kind of hangs out a little bit off the edge. It just adds a little bit of like, oh, what's that? What's going on there? And then when you're turning the pages, you get to see the full effect of that trim. It's just a really good way to, first of all, it brings my heart a lot of joy, but also it really dresses up the pages. It brings it up a notch, like Emerald used to say, brings it up a notch. I added just these little trim pieces to do that. So let's finish by adding this last bit of trim that I'm going to add to this book, and then we'll get to other things. Hey, Joyce, how are you, friend? Heart's back at you, girl. Thanks for saying hello. All right, I got to concentrate here for a minute because I glued here, and I got to find the other 2 spots. I think it's, wait. Gracie, it should be at about right here. That is it right there. I can feel it because it feels kind of plasticky. So in between these 2, I'm going to cut and hope it doesn't unravel. That's the goal here. We don't want any unraveling once it's installed in the book. So that was the first spot. And then I can, right here. And the funny thing is, the challenging thing here is, in between the 2 pearls, this may be difficult for you to see on camera, but I'm going to try to point it out. In between the 2 pearls is another bead that is strung right here. So by cutting here, I glued there, but by cutting there, that bead may pop off. I'm not going to willingly take it off, but there's a bead right there as well. By tapping it, I think I'm popping it off. Anyway, we're trying to keep it from unraveling and all those beads popping off. That's why I glued along the edges in those very strategic places so I could use more of this pearl trim. I'm going to put the trim aside. We got to find some good pages to put those on. We'll put 1 in each signature. That's why I have 2 of them. And I like to, I'm just going to do a little flip through because I like to, like I have trim here. Skip a page, we have trim here, we have trim there, trim here. So I want it to be evenly placed. There's no trim here and no trim here. No trim, no trim. So we're getting to the back of the book and there's absolutely no trim. So let's put it toward the back. I just have to pick a place to put it. And I actually may like the contrast of the coffee stained book page and this. And because there's this margin here for the book page, it kind of will fill that in a little. And I hope to have those pearls just hanging off the edge so that you can see it when the book is closed. Okay, so this is a little challenging because now I got to get the glue on there to stick the beads on there. Who got my Telegram notification for my live notification? The nice thing about Telegram is it's not social media channel specific. So if I'm going live on Facebook, I can send you a Telegram message and tell you that. If I'm going live in, say, the Facebook group, the private group, I can tell you that. If I'm going live on YouTube, I can tell you that, all in that one place, as opposed to you having to be on all of those places for me to tell you that. So it's like a one-stop deal, one-stop shop for getting live notifications. So who got that this morning? I'm wondering. Now, I got to make sure I'm not having oozing glue. I got to make sure that this is, I want it to be even. I don't want it to be wacky. And now that is a little tacky with glue. So I have to be really careful. I don't want to close the book on that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a paper clip. This is going to be my marker. That's all it is a marker to tell me that's where I'm going to put this page. I'm going to take this page out. This is the beauty of this binding, and set it aside to dry. Let's get it even. I'll probably, once it's dry, I'll probably be able to clip off that little edge unless I decide I like the look of it. We'll put that aside to dry, and then in the second signature, we'll do the same thing. Let's pick a page, probably toward the back, but let's just check. Here's the second signature. I want evenly placed special trims. I have a trim here, trim here, trim here. So actually on this one, it's more toward the front that doesn't have any trim. So let's just pick a page. Maybe I'll go with this one. I'm going to go with this one. And so since I know I'm going to have to do the same thing, let's just do it. I'm going to put this here. So I know that's where I'm going to slip this page in. Let's take it out and we'll do our gluing. I wanted to glue it there. And that's got a little notch taken out of it. So there's really nothing at that spot to glue it to. So that's okay. We got tools. We got tools in our stash, girls. We can handle this. I think what I'll do is maybe add a little washi tape strip right there to give myself something to glue it to. I don't think I like this though. I thought maybe I'd want that, but I don't think I do. So I'm looking up at my washi tape. You can't see me, but I'm looking up at my washi tape trying to see, is there a pretty washi tape that can do the trick? Just a little smattering of it there. Let's do it. Let's not be think about this too much. We'll add a little glue. I finished watching a video and just found you live, but I did receive my notification from YouTube. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's, maybe that's a good question too. Okay. I asked if you got the Telegram notification, but if you got a notification, did you get it from YouTube? That's actually a good question to ask. I forget about that. I get YouTube notifications too when someone goes live that I'm following because I have it set up. I follow a lot of people on YouTube. And I have it set up that for some of them, I'll get a live notification, not for all of them. That's the beauty of customizing your notifications. All right, we're going right over that washi tape that I just glued down with a little bit of liquid glue. And we are going to glue this to the edge. This is an uneven edge, so I'm going to try to be as even as possible, given the fact that it is an uneven edge. We'll have a tiny bit of washi tape making an appearance there, which I think is kind of cool. I love anything unexpected, anything unusual. I like things hanging out where they shouldn't be. So that tiny bit of washi tape there popped out. It's kind of cool. And what I might do actually is let's take another piece of that. One of the things that I do that I hope pointing it out to you is helpful. That has a gold foil to it, which is kind of cool. I will take, if I use this in one place in the book, I do try to put it somewhere else in the book. I needed it here so that my trim had a place to be glued down. I don't need it anywhere else, but I do think that it adds a lot of solidarity to the book, and it makes everything cohesive if you can then take that same thing and just maybe put it in a couple other places in the book. So this page has it, and now this page has it. That's just there for the sake of keeping things cohesive, using the same tape somewhere else in the book. It doesn't serve any other purpose than a look. I'm going to put this aside for a minute to dry like I did before. And then while I'm on that same idea, why don't I add a little piece of that tape somewhere else in the book? Because this is, as I mentioned, I think last time we were together for this book, see how these pages are super plain? That's a good place for a piece of tape. I do like to keep the pages mainly when I don't know what's going to happen with the book. I think this will end up in an auction here. It'll end up in one of my sales. With that in mind, I do like to do a little bit of decorating, but because I don't know how the owner will use the book, I don't want to completely fill the book. I want the owner to be able to fill it with what she wants to fill it with, whether it be photos, journal entries, to-do list, keepsake journaling, I don't know, recipes. Maybe she's taking it to a wedding shower and all of the ladies at the wedding shower are going to take a page and write a note to the bride. And then that will become part of the gift to the bride from the wedding shower. Wouldn't that be a sweet gift? Letting every single lady there write a little something to the bride. Oh my gosh, that would be a really cute gift to give her. So anyway, I don't know how she wants to use it. So I don't want to fill every single page with all the things. I want to leave them blank so she can fill it with whatever she wants. All right, let's put one more piece of tape somewhere else in this book. We'll put one right here. I'm just randomly picking some places. Again, it's just about it making a repeat appearance. And I kind of did it the same on all the pages, just, you know, on the right or left of the page, randomly stuck there. Let's see. Jay says, I'm doing good. I'm here dealing with this crazy heat, unbearable. Thankfully, seems like today is going to be a little less humidity. Tell us your temps, Joyce. Tell us what you're dealing with today. I'd love to know. It has been hot here too. My family is coming next week, the week after next. And generally they all live mainly on the East Coast. My sister lives in Florida. So this will definitely be cool off for her, because she's in Florida. And she's in Southwest Florida. But for everybody else who lives like Boston, Philadelphia area, they're coming here. It's very high heat and humidity, particularly in Boston. Those cities get tons of humidity in the summer when it's high heat. So our dry, moderate temperatures are usually really comfortable compared to out east. But it's could be 88 today. Yesterday was 87. That's pretty hot for us. It still is dry. It is not a humid heat, thankfully, but still kind of hot. Okay, along these same lines, I will go through here. And so see how there's like nothing. There's, you know, the page is coffee stained. So it has some markings, coffee stained and sprayed. It has some markings, but there's nothing else on there. So another way to put just something on those pages without totally eating up the pages is to use your stamps. So like this, I could take these botanical stamps. Anything, it could be anything you want. It could be shapes, it could be animals, birds, it can be botanicals, it can be whatever you want, words and phrases of affirmation. If I take this little botanical stamp and stamp it on that really plain page, it just adds something without overpowering the page, right? Okay, a couple of things I need, sorry for the banging, an acrylic block, so it's easier to hold on to that. Oh, wrong way, Gracie. I'm going to put that there. These clear ones are nice because you can see exactly where your placement is. I'm going to put that there. I've not used this one before, so I'm going to scratch it up just a little bit with my sanding block. It'll help. It'll help it adhere to the ink and then to the paper real well so that it stays on there. I grabbed two just general browns. It doesn't matter to me which one I use. It's just a neutral brown. The other thing about these clear blocks, if you've ever noticed, you can see exactly how much of your stamp is actually inked. So you know, I'm a little afraid this doesn't have a solid backing on it. So you know that you fully inked it up. It's got all the juice everywhere it needs. So see, just something little. I like that one a lot. Let's do that in one other place. I'm going to try to pick a place without trim. See, this has nothing. It has no trim. It has no tape. It has nothing. So I'll wet it and then we'll come in. This is all gnarly. I have this here. I have like the trim. So when I put this down, it's not completely solid. And that's what I meant a minute ago. Like, oh, this isn't solid. So take something solid here. What I can do is take another stamp block and put it behind this so that when I press this down, I know I'm sandwiching it between two solid things and I'll have a solid stamp, if that makes any sense. You need, otherwise when I put it down, it's the paper is all wiggly and waggly and it's not going to go on just where you want it. You know, like my words, it's wiggly and it's waggly, girls. It's 90 with the feel of 101. Ouch. Ouch. I got some disinfectant wipes. I'm going to grab one of these. All the sounds to clean that off. And there was. It didn't look like there was anything on there, but there was. Let me just grab a different one. I really love that one though. Put you back, baby doll. And then see how these are jars and you put the little sprigs on them? How cute is that? Okay, I think that one I'm done with. I'm just going to look. I like, you know, bird cage, bird on a flower, butterfly, just a single butterfly. These just little things. They're just cute. Little stamps are great to have if you're a paper crafter. I have a few here. Little phrase, beautiful dream. Why can't that go on a page? Or good day. Actually, the good day, look at, I think this is ripped right here. I hate when that happens. These packages rip. Okay, tell me something, because I was just thinking of this as I was sifting through all of these, right? They're all a different shape. They're all a different size. This one doesn't even have the outside cover, and so I don't want any of those to fall off of there and get lost. So it's in a bag, like a Ziploc type bag, Boulder Freeze. I don't know. Have any of you found a way to organize your stamps so that they're all on the, I think it would be very beneficial if they were like in a book or something, or all on the same type of backing so that I didn't have all of this happening. And then, like I just said, what happens is these bags rip. Like this is completely open. So even though I'm supposed to take it out the bottom, this thing comes out this way because the bag ripped, because it's kind of chintzy. Oh, I do like this one. While we're at this one, let's grab this little leaf. That one's pretty. Haven't used it yet though. This is a newbie. Scratchy scratch. So has anybody found a way that you like for your stamps, that you're organizing them? I think I'll put this one right here. So I'm going to grab this to have as my backing, so I have a place to put it down. The middle isn't getting the ink. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty. Who would think such a simple little thing would make you so, makes my heart happy. This page could use something, and so could, these are little pockets. I forgot about these little pockets that I created. So I guess I will want to put some, I can't get this in there. I would want to get something. I want to put like little cards. Oh, I wonder if that would fit an ATC card. We'll have to test that in a minute. Let's do another stamp before we do. This has like almost nothing on it. Let's go right here on the bottom. Same stamp. I don't, if you get it like on this part, there's a chance you'll get it on your project too. Not that it's a big deal, but just be aware. There we go. I think for this one, I'm going to go this way. Just so dainty and pretty. Putting them in a book, making a search easier would be nice. Mine are just in a folder. Like a book. Do they make a stamp holder book? What are all you brilliant, crafty ladies using? Is there a little binder book then what are the sheets that you put in the book to hold them in place is what I'm wondering. These, I wonder if an ATC card will fit in there. I have some here, so let me grab one. Well, this isn't a made one, but that's just a little playing card. Nope, too small. Okay, this fits this way really well. I could do short versions of ATC cards. Like, what if I cut an inch off of here and then had a little bit hanging out, and then I just designed it so that it's stuck in that way? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I mean? Let me grab another one. Otherwise, like some little tag like that, that's a good shape for it too. That's perfect. That can fit in there and then kind of hangs out, which makes it really interesting. So when you get back there, you're like, oh, what's this? And then, ooh, pretty. And you can put a little message on there, or you can journal on there, but it gives you little pretties. That actually is a really good size. And I have that punch. I don't want the red, but this is a really good size. It's perfect size actually. So if I cut these cards down by that much and then punch the top, I'll have the size that I need. So that's another project. I'll do that later. Okay, let's get to the cover, because this, I got to figure out what's going to go in here and what are we putting on the cover. All right, let me check cards. Joy says, I don't have a lot of stamps. I don't know why when I go craft shopping, I never check the stamps, but I think one of those books with clear pages inside would work. Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Like Joyce, like if I got a 5x7 or a 6x9 3-hole punch, you know, those like binders that people used to carry as calendars way back in the day. I think I actually have a couple of them that I stopped using here at the house. But then you bought the folders for them, like those clear folders. You could slip this into the folder, so at least they were all in a book. That's kind of where I'm going with it. So I think that's not a bad idea. Okay, where am I, Grace? Think. These are still too wet to put away, but I got to do this cover. I'm going to take my sweater off. Yeah, I think, Missy, you're right, though. Like, if they were in a book, wouldn't it be easier to look through them than it is just, I have these piled in bins, and, you know, you have to, like, I don't know. I do think it would be easier. This is not wanting to stay closed while I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I'm going to clip most of the pages. Come on, darling. That way I have this free to work on. Okay. I need something that's going to slide in here. This was just like my little placeholder for that. But I got to figure out what is the width of this. That it's not much wider than that, to be truthful with you. So I guess I'll get a ruler and figure out, I think if I did 1.5 inches, it would fit. So first test is, this is just a strip of watercolor paper. I actually used it for something. You can see it's glued down there. I'm going to cut a strip of this 1.5 inches, and then I got to get the height right. See how far down I can get it. So 1.5 inches wide is what I'm thinking. So let's start with that. This looks, did I cut this side too, or is that a straight edge? I can't tell. My eyes are deceiving me, girls. Sometimes what I do to help me, because there are lines on here because it's a scoring board, but my eyes deceive me and I'm not sure that I'm on a straight line all the way down. So if I put a ruler here, which is a straight edge here, and that's hard, that's not paper that's going to move a whole lot, then I can place my paper against that ruler at the 1.5 inch. It helps me to make sure that I'm straight all the way down, because I struggle with that. Sometimes I cut it and then slight, but there's just a slight variance on this side because I didn't angle it correctly. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Sometimes I use a ruler for that. Okay. let's just see how far down am I going to get this, and does it fit widthwise? Oh, it fits perfectly widthwise. And that's it. That's all I got. So I must have glued right there. I didn't need it to go all the way down. I need it to go there. Now, if I wanted to use that punch with the tag stamp, if you wanted it to have that top to it, I would also need to leave that room for that. Do you see how much room that takes? I think this was it. Yeah. So when I cut it, here's the top. Like that's the spot where, that's as far as it's going to go down in. Now I don't want all of that hanging out the top. That's too much, right? Maybe I'd like it like there, or just the tip of it. So something like that. So that means what are you getting at here, Gracie? If I cut it there, what happens? And that should be, let's try it. We have enough paper we can redo if I don't figure it out right. Sometimes my brain just seriously struggles. Luckily, this is a 1.5 inch punch. It looks different than the full 2.5 inch punch. Right, so now I can have just a little bit of that hanging out. I can even put a ribbon on there so that really the ribbon is hanging out and you know to pull the ribbon. Right? So now I can put something on there. So now what I got to figure out is how do I get something on there that's going to show through that window nicely? And I was thinking about this, like what if I could get a little phrase? What would you do? Would you put a pattern? Would you put a phrase? Would you put like a picture of a bird? Like what should we put in there? Because I was thinking I had some words, like that would even be cute. Just the botanical. But like, what if we could put one of these little words, good day, or there's another one here that I thought might, one of these. Let your dreams take flight. Thinking of you. I like the good day. Let's see how the good day would work. This bag is practically broken. Oh, and it has that on the back. I have used this one before, so I don't have to scratch it up. But will it fit in there? It would fit in there perfectly if I could figure out how to get it right at that spot. How the heck do I figure that out, girls? Okay. At this notch, if I have that hanging out that much, at that notch, it meets up with the top of the book. So if I pull this back out, at that notch, meet it up with the top of the book, then I can see, okay, here's my window. So I would need to stamp it like right there, right? Let's not mess with it. Let's just stamp it and see what we get. Let's just see what we get. Oh, I forgot to put that one away. You want to start a stamp book, Joyce? She said, I want to go shopping so I can start a stamp book. I love it. More organization. Missy, I do think that, like, I don't spend a lot of time on that stuff. I'd rather just create than organize, seriously. But sometimes you find that, I'm just trying it, girls. I don't know. I'm going for it. Sometimes you find that by taking the time to organize something, you actually can use your stuff better, and it does save you time in the long run. Then I think it's worth it. Oh my word, it fits perfectly. It fits perfectly. I'll do something else around that. I'm not going to leave it just like that. Let's like do a watercolor or something on there so it's not just plain old white hanging out. Maybe I could do a soft blue watercolor on there. What do you think? Any ideas, girls? How could I decorate that beyond having the good day? Give me, I need some help. Tell me, how do I decorate it beyond the good day on there? These rubbery or sticky stamps, they don't always stick back on their backing. It drives me crazy. Because then I have one set that I really love, but they don't stay on the backing. And so then I end up having like a bag of stamps, which is really not easy to look through when you're trying to find something. I don't love this system. So if anybody knows of a system out there that exists that can kind of organize these for me, I would be forever grateful. Where did this one come from? Oh, right here. There. I don't care if it's on there properly. I don't, upside down, backwards, I don't care. Okay. It worked out really well, right, Joyce? How easy. But now I don't want just a plain old white. I need to put something on there that's going to complement what we're doing, but I can't think what. Let's see. If I had a napkin that if it was sheer enough and could go over that, or I could just do watercolor. I don't know. Let's do watercolor. I do like, and I was playing with them yesterday. Like that blue is really nice. If I did a blue, there's yellow on the inside. If I did blue and yellow, it would match real well. So that is something Cabo blue. I don't know how to say that. And then if I look for the yellow medium. Excuse me, girls. There's the yellow medium. What's Jane's gray? That's pretty too. Well, that's more like a Sears gray. All right, I missed the blue. Oh no, there it is. Cabo blue. Well, I like the gold better than the yellow. So I guess I'll use the gold and the blue. Let's just do a little watercolor on there. Just enough to like make it so it's just not plain white. Grab this thing because, and I was thinking she could go on the front somehow. That's why I had her close by. Okay. Those two colors on here. This will work as a nice backdrop. I did clean my paint water yesterday because I cleaned my brushes. So let's get some water. I'm going to just dip a little water on both of those colors just to get them activated. I'm going to start with the blue, I guess. Here I go. And let's just get a little bit of blue, and I want to leave room for yellow. So I'm going to leave this yellow, white, so that I can add the yellow to it. So I'm just going to put the blue on now, and I would need to let that dry. I haven't decided if I'll do the back too. I'm going to put some areas where it's just going to be a little darker. Oh, my ink is moving around on me. I'm going to dry this, and then we'll add the yellow, just so it's just not so plain. Oh, that's a good idea, Missy. I didn't see that suggestion until just now. That's a fun idea. Well, that's already dry. Jeez, that was dang quick. Okay, the Distress ink is not permanent. It's moving around on me. Okay, don't love that. I think I just bought some clear gesso. Give me a second here. Didn't I? I'm looking, girls. Just give me a second. I'm sure I just bought clear gesso because I had run out. Oh, goodness, Gracie. Where did you put it? I'm sorry, girls. I hate to make you wait like that, but it is what it is. I gotta find my clear gesso. Where did I put it, Grace? I probably put it somewhere close, and now yet I can't find it. There it is. I did buy some. I'm gonna clear gesso that best I can so it doesn't smear all over for me. Looking for a very soft brush. A little bit of gesso. I'm going to touch it, and then you got to leave it alone, because if you keep doing that, it's going to keep smearing. See, like right there, I did it twice. Once you wet it, then it's going to smear. So I need to do it and then let it dry. That should set that in place so that it doesn't keep moving on me. There. Should have thought of that before. Oh well. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't care about the other places, but right there, I kind of want that to stay. Let's see what that does. Okay, yellow. You better let that dry first, right? Whoop, all the fussiest of things that we do. Just to get like a little like effect that you're trying to go for, right? And we do all these fussy little things, but actually it's quite enjoyable. It's all the little details. And this is why when you pay somebody for art, when you pay somebody, you purchase their art from them, and you think, whoa, that's expensive. It is, but they've spent lots of time and energy getting it just right, or just the way they envisioned it. This, I think, is going to feel really dark. Yeah, so I better add a little more water, because I don't want it super dark. I want traces of this gold. This is a little metallic gold too, actually. I'm going to put up a little bit up in this corner right here over the blue. And then we're going to come in here. I'm going under the words. Perfect. Okay, I like it. Let me find a ribbon to put in there. I don't think I want jute. I think I'm going to try to find a silky ribbon. Usually watercolors, they wash out immediately from your brushes, so you don't really have to ever soak them like you do acrylic and chalk paints. Like that gets clean immediately, and then I can just dry it off and put it back where you usually keep it. I'm going to go look at my ribbons. Let's grab some ribbon and see. Actually, I have some remnants of ribbon here. I thought I had, oh, I have a blue. Maybe I want it about, I'm going to cut it a little longer than I think. It's not even dry, and I'm wanting to put the ribbon on because I'm so excited about it. Thanks, Joy. She says that looks pretty. Thank you. Okay. I do like to do this slip knot thing. It sometimes makes it a little bulky. So if I can get that place where they meet to be above the paper, I'm usually in better shape. And then if you're worried about it, because a lot of times satin ribbon, it slips a lot, like it just gets loose a lot. So what I'll do is from there, so I have that knot sitting right above the paper. And then what I'll do is just tie a little knot at this point, tie a knot. It's above the paper now, so that it doesn't budge on you, right? So I'll take this and I'll go really low and tie a knot so it's not going to budge on me. Okay, and that actually helps to make that V that you're looking for with the ribbon. It's a really pretty way to tie that and keep it as flat as possible when you're paper crafting, because if you're trying to reduce bulk, that's a good idea. Okay, so that one's done. I will keep that ribbon around because if I can use that ribbon, that's going to go in there. If I can use that ribbon also on these when I make them, that would be awesome. That's funny, right? I think what I could do is cover these tops with watercolor paper. I have this scrap of watercolor. I use my scraps of watercolor paper all the time. And I have them just really close by because they're so helpful. I'm going to glue this down. Yeah, so I can have a white base to start with. That way I can minimally decorate this kind of like I did those. So what I would do is glue the heck out of this. It's on here perfectly. I want to cover that side. That I might leave just like it is because that's kind of funny to me to kind of have that baseball card look to it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. This is going to get cut, remember, to this size. So actually, let's cut this one first and then see if I have room to glue this one to that same strip, because I want them the same exact size. Hi, Gannon. How are you, kid? No, I don't have. Oh, good. I'm glad to. What, honey?
Are you hungry at all?
Yes. What are you making?
I don't know. Probably something you can't have.
All right. Well, I'll eat when I get out there then.
Okay.
Good morning.
I'm playing video games with the fellas, so I'm gonna.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're gonna finish that first?
Well, yeah.
I was hoping that was gonna allow me to use that, but it's still a little too short. So back to my scraps of paper. I could use this. It's blank on that side. Glue that down. No one will see this. I don't know that I cut that straight. We'll see in a minute here, I guess. I want that side to show, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to end up cutting, this is just slightly crooked, so I'm going to end up putting that in my, I hope it fits through my tag maker, because now it's pretty thick. Now this one needs to get cut to that size too, because this fit perfectly in that spot. Oh, we're going this way, Gracie. I need to cut it. I want to keep that, I think. Oh, it's going to get cut off. I could go like this. Let's do that. Then I can keep that 9 there. So I'm going to cut the top and the bottom. Oh, it's wiggly. It wants to wiggle on me. Now we're guessing. I don't know. Hoping I can run these through that machine. That little doodad. The struggle with this, and I had it with when I did this one too, is that it's so short in here. But let's do it. Let's get it all the way in there and see if I can cut through all that thickness. Oh man, it did it. Woo, look at that, baby. Now we have something pretty to stick in that back little pocket right there. This one is definitely crooked. So remember, I wanted to put it through this way, but Grace, you just did yourself a disservice. Now that would be upside down if I did it that way. So I better be a little more precise about that cut. Straighten this out because my hand cutting was not precise, as they say. Anyway, there we go. Gracie, what are you doing? Let's get you. Okay, now I have these two cool tags. Ready to be decorated and to fit in here. And they'll just hang out just a little bit. And again, I don't like to super decorate things because I want the person who gets the book, how cool is that, to be able to do what they want with these things. So why don't we just watercolor these like we just did this one so that they kind of match. Same thing. We'll re-wet this and we'll watercolor these. Okay, some blue, some gold. We're just going to smudge it in. I got a little pink peeking out there, but that's okay. Nobody's going to put me in jail for that. It's just a tiny little bit of pink showing. So again, using the same process to color these for the back of the book, it's going to make everything super cohesive, right? Because we have the same method of coloring them, same process. Okay. Oh, stay where you are, dude. Stop messing with me. If you're just coming on, please say hello. I see there's 7 folks, at least from what I can see. What does it say on your screen? Do you, as a viewer there, do you on your screen see that there's a certain number of people here hanging out with us? And can you tell me what that number is if you see it? Because I think it shows a little different for each of us, which is, right, that's a little strange, but that's the way the technology works. I can't pick this up for the life of me. Like, where did that straight line come from? All right, that's pretty dry. Let's get some yellow. Gold, it's called iridescent gold. And where there's white stuff. Now that I've dried that one watercolor, I'm going to come in with a new color where the white is and add the iridescent gold. So these little watercolor sheets with the buttons on them, I discovered those a couple of years ago. And this man's watercolors, I'll show you the packaging here in a second because I can't even remember. I think his name is Michael Smith or something like that. Daniel Smith, Michael Smith. I'll check in a second here. His watercolors, if you buy them from an art store, are very expensive. So I was like, man, what makes his so special? I wanted to know for myself, but I didn't want to spend the money on his full sets. So the fact that he's made these small sets available is quite nice for those of us who aren't sure. I'm not a watercolor like expert. I've never been trained in it. I don't use them a lot, but I do have fun when I use them. So when I was looking at watercolor like reviews, like he's pretty renowned, and his are supposedly very high quality, but you don't know until you try them, right? So the little buttons are nice because although I felt like, wow, it's that much for that tiny little set of watercolors, Daniel Smith Extra Fine Watercolor, you get 36 colors to try. And, you know, for little paper projects, how much more watercolor do you need? It's not like we're doing full acrylic panels of watercolor paintings. So these are kind of nice because it gives you an opportunity to try them. I didn't even notice this stuff was on here until just now. Wet your brush and make a water path. Add a drop of rose of ultramarine and watch the colorful line dance. Watercolors will dance, dance, dance on textured paper. Anyway, I just think they're really nice. I think it's a really nice, I'm like, look at that iridescent blue. Look at how brilliant that color is. Man, I kind of want to test that one. Should we do it? Hold on, girls. I'm just going to take a little bit. What does this blue look like? Oh, gosh, it's pretty. So see, it is nice to have them. I'm going to just, why not? Let's just introduce new color on these. Just a little bit. Why not? Here's this guy. We're going to make a match. Maybe I should put a little on here too. And I do like having a little pool of watercolor and just letting it rest there and dry. It is kind of nice because then you have some of the watercolor that's really watery and then some that's really like more bold. All right, these are just going to get set aside. I have to let these dry. What I do, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want. I let these dry before I put them back in the box. So I'm going to put this aside with all of my little watercolor projects to dry. Those will go back in the book later. And then that'll give me a hot minute to figure out now our cover, what we're going to do with this cover. Now, I was thinking that lady, did you see her? Did you see my vintage lady? We'll sit here. We'll have that little word that's going to fit down in there. Good day. And behind her, you know, we can't just put her on there like that. That's just lonely and sad. But I was thinking behind her, hold on for all the ruckus. I'll put stuff away. Putting stamps away, putting that thing away. I have all this stuff that are leftover pieces from making the book. Okay, so I have these things to choose from. They're just in that were in my bin, the box for the book, and I was like, okay, I have leftover papers, I have leftover fabric, I have these trims that I use. So can we come up with some little collage here of things? That's actually really cool. That I can put behind her to make some sort of backdrop so she's not just sitting there all lonely and sad. Oh, look at this. Fallen Angel, page 375. That was one of our book pages that we put in the book. What if I did this? It's so little, it's kind of hard to grab onto. So I'm just testing if I wanted to layer these things. Now it'll stay still better. What would we do here? Like, I love that gnarly looking edge to that. So what if we did something like that? And put her on top, although I don't like her to be bare there. So I grabbed this too. Remember, she's going to be covering the bulk of that, so I don't actually have to cover everything behind her. But if I did something along those lines. All right, Gracie. What if I put these two together here? Put these two together down here. Is it okay that she would have Fallen Angel right under her feet? That to me is interesting. I like it. I think it's interesting. I feel like she needs something else back here. So I'm going to look for a neutral colored fabric as opposed to paper. Because the paper, it just has a different feel. So I have all this, you know, I have so much. I just grabbed a handful of fabrics. I have so much fabric. So I'm going to find something neutral. Oh, I kind of like that. That would be introducing a new color, but I might like that back there. It's kind of the right size too. Is this God telling me, Grace, that's the one? That's the one, Gracie. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then I could put something else up in this corner. I don't know if I have any more of that particular fabric. This kind of looks like a trim. Kind of looks like a little curtain trim. What's that other trim? To me, it's all about layering. I think the layering is like the funnest. Cuteness. Yes, ma'am. Let's do that. I'm going to cut it a little bigger than the book. Do I want anything else here? Let me check and see if my watercolor is dry yet, because I'm thinking I kind of want to see what this looks like in there, because I'm super visual. You don't have watercolors, Joyce? Oh my goodness, Joyce, you might really enjoy them. I don't know. There may be other companies that have button watercolor, like options. I don't know. But I think it is a really nice way to have a sample of them without having to buy all of them. I'm going to try to slip this in without disrupting my whole arrangement here, because I'm curious to see, am I covering that up at all? I'm not covering it up at all. I could go over and cover it up a little, so it's not so perfectly, like I could do that, because it's not going to hurt the words good day at all if I do it like that. I'm going to just start gluing things because I'm kind of happy with the way this is looking. Let's just do it. What are we waiting for? Let's just do it, girls. A little bit of glue. Oops. Not on the front. I want it on the back. I don't usually want these pieces to be completely flat on my project. I like when the edges are like up like that and have some movement. That is purposeful because I like the look of it. I like the 3D aspect of it. I like the movement of it. So most of the time when I'm putting stuff down, I don't try to flatten it completely. I don't want to lose all that texture. See, and in fact, this piece of paper, if I scrunch it and then push it into the glue, I'm going to get a little more of a wrinkle and more texture. That's the stuff I love. That's the stuff that gets me really excited. Okay, now this is not going to, liquid glue is going to pour right through that because it has so much open holes. So I'm going to use glue stick here. Oh, and that's not stuck yet, so get that happening. Okay. And then down here, I wanted this, and then I want this right under her feet. Fallen angel. Just because, why not? Oh, I might even like that better than the plain one. I liked the blue and yellow ink sprayed on there, but actually, I might like that even more. I do. I like this even more. And that's the same paper that I used for the cover. So again, it's about using the same materials over and over again in your book. You'll help to make it really cohesive, and it'll, even though my style is really eclectic and I kind of throw a bunch of mismatched stuff together, if you trust me on this, if you take of all your mismatched stuff, if you take the same paper, for example, and use it several times throughout your book, it will give it a really subtle, cohesive unity to it, even though it appears that you're just like taking all these random things and throwing them together. I love grunge. I love the look of grunge. I love to throw just what I have on hand together, which means a lot of it, it's not a set. It doesn't match. It may not even be the same color schemes, but I can usually make it work by using that as one of my go-to techniques in my books. So keep that, kind of keep that in your toolbox, girls. Okay. Guys and girls, if there's any men out there listening in. Oh my gosh, I love this so much, you guys. And I haven't even got my trim up top yet. I kind of put it down a little lower. I think it's neat. It's interesting. Okay, let's get some glue here. Whoop, that was a splatter I did not intend. So we can get our little fringed curtain up there. And then we're going to put this on top of the fringed curtain, just because we fancy like that, and because we already used that in the center of the book twice, that trim. So now we're gonna use it again. I need it to stick. I don't need it to stick perfectly and in every single stinking location, because if it has a little bit of movement, again, that's my real preference. Get off my finger though. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's so cute. I actually wouldn't mind pulling this down. It's still wet, so I can pull this down a little bit, and then so I see more of the fringe, and then put this just up a tish, so that fringe is more of a prominent part of it. Okay, we need to let it dry. What do you think of my cover? Cute, right? I love it. I love it. So we still have, I'm gonna let all this stuff dry. Geez, we're finishing this book today. So where the paper clips are is where these pages went. Remember these pages? This one has a book page, so that one had to be, did I pull the other one out? Oh no, there it is. I thought I lost my spot. There should be one in each. Yep. This is where I got to slide this back in. So I want to slide it back in, actually back here. Is this the right place for this one? No, we can't have two. Can't have two book pages next to each other. I don't remember where I. That makes more sense to me. Oh my gosh. Love it. Okay, now that one went there. And then what did I do here? This one must go here, because I would not have put two book pages next to each other. I try to separate them. This is the lovely part about this kind of binding. You can pull them out, glue them, set them aside to dry, and then add them back in. So now when we open this, we have these beautiful pearl and lace trims hanging out in this very grungy book, but it gives it some feminine pretty to it. And then I will have, and I think I'm going to leave these plain. They're not quite dry yet, but these are going to slip into those two pockets, and I'm going to put ribbon on them. And we are finishing this book today, girls. What do you think? I would love to know. I would love to know. I'll cover up some things while I'm drying. I'm not seeing any comments, so if you guys are commenting and I'm not replying, I'm not seeing them right now. So I don't know if you're just not commenting, which is totally fine, but if you are commenting and I'm not seeing it, that's a YouTube thing. It's not me. Oh, thanks, Janice. I see that comment. Looks so good. Okay, cute, right? And they are iridescent. Can you see that bit of shimmer in the gold? The gold is iridescent. And that lighter blue was too. But I do actually really like that darker blue that we added in there as a little bold spot. So let's take these. How big do we want these? How far do we want these to hang out? Let's get this in here and see. I need you to let me get in there, will you please? Don't be a putz. All right, I could actually tie these while they're in here because they're hanging out so far. Oh my Lord, it's just me. It's not the book, I promise. It's just my inability to get it together. How cute. I don't think I want these terribly long. I mean, right? Let's do them both the same length, and if we have to refigure, we will. Oh, jeez, Louise Grace. A little longer than that. It's very springy when you let go. It like springs back. All right, let's see what we got here. Same thing. kind of this loop-de-loo knot to get your tails through. And I don't want these like way out. Like that's way too far, right? So let's tie them and then I'll cut them. At least I know I have enough. These seem to be staying, but still, if you want to make sure they don't slip out and you lose them, and if you want to give yourself that separation of these two tails, this is what I do to kind of give me both of those benefits. Tie them together, so you kind of get a knot there, and then it kind of gives you that. I will cut those down in a second here. Where'd the other little piece go? Oh, tie a bow, Janice says. I kind of like, I'm going to cut them real short. I kind of like it because it matches the one on the front, right? And we'll look at the length of all of those and see, is that really what we want for the length of these? Now that the book is pretty much put together. I can't get this one through here. Come on, Gracie. I feel like I have such dexterity issues sometimes. I can't be the only one. Like my fingers are just clumsy, clumsy, like just, ugh. Do your job, man. Do your job. I don't feel like I have fine motor skills anymore. Okay, that one looks even better because it's shorter than that one. But it was a little harder to tie because it was short. Okay, this is even just a little tish too long for me, given where it is. So I'm going to cut these down. I'm not even going to try to cut them. Oh, I wasn't trying to cut it at diagonal. Come on, baby. All right, clearly those aren't sharp enough. Yeah, there's a big difference between sharp and not sharp scissors, girls. Way better. Makes a lot more sense on the cover there. And so let's do the same thing here. We're going to cut these kind of short. But have them sticking out because they look like little bunny ears. Cuteness. And unusual. And they don't have to stay here. Whoever gets this book can pull these out and do whatever her little heart desires with them. But now we have our two little pretty short watercolor tags there. I think this book is done. I really do need to give it some time to dry because everything's just a little bit wet yet. And I may I may decide once it's dry to add some, see if I can find some little rhinestones or something. I will end up with some rhinestones. Good gravy, Grace. I'm going to try and see if I can find them right now. That is not likely because those rhinestones is something I don't use very often. So it's like when I do decide I want to use them, where the heck are they? Well, I found the drawer of jewelry. Okay, here. Yeah, I found some. Girls, I got it. Now, where is the gluey stick thing that I used to glue these down? I have that pen thing. What if I got these at the thrift store? They were really cheap. Somebody obviously was getting rid of their stash. But I think I will put a couple of these in here. I won't make you wait for that. It's just a very small detail at the end of this book. The other thing is I have to find, you know that little crayon thing that I bought? That I said I wasn't sure that it really worked? Girls, where did I put that thing? You know what I'm talking about? That little waxy crayon doodad. Do you know the name of it? It's like a picker-upper thing. Do you like my words? It's some sort of picker-upper thing. I know you know what I'm talking about. Let me look at my bins. I was in these bins the other day, and I did not see that picker-upper tool. I don't think it's in there. One more place, and then I'll be like, seriously don't know where I put it. Remember I bought it off Temu, and I was like, is this really how this thing works? And I was telling you guys I didn't think it worked real well. Where are you, little thing? Little misleading tool. The picker-upper thing. It's just a damn crayon. Go find a crayon in your house. Sharpen it. It's just a waxy crayon. I think if you heated it up, it would even work better. But this is supposed to be the thing that picks up all these little rhinestones. Should I do a clear or should I do a color? Like I was thinking blue, of course. And there are some blues in here. There's actually a really big blue one right there. $1. I paid $1 for all of this. Someone got rid of this. Holy, there's a lot of them, right? There are the blues. They come in different sizes. Some of them are really teeny. That looks like a good, well, what would you do? Would you do clear or would you do blue? That's another thing. How do you organize these things? This lady or the store put them in here. These are all thankfully in their own little individual bags that have not been opened yet. This comes in this glorious little helper. It's like a fishing tackle box. Okay, so now you're supposed to be able to pick one up. It does work brilliantly. But then how do you get the damn glue? I think you put the glue here. I just want to see. I'm not sure. Does it work on both sides? I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, look at, what if I just put it in the center of those little flowers? Let's do it. What the heck? I just lost that one. It fell right there. Glue. What glue to use? I bet this is, oh no, it's not. I bet this is clogged. Oh, shite. Oh, I got a big blob in the wrong place. All right, Diamond Glaze, get off of there, darling. Wow, that stuff came out wicked quick. It came out immediately, unlike most glues that get clogged, and it didn't even have a cover on it. I don't know why. I hardly ever use this stuff. I'm going to use the Diamond Glaze. It is a glue, and it will dry clear. I'm going to go in the middle of these 3 florals with a little dab of glue, and then I got to flip this bad boy, and then I got to see if I can find. Oh my gosh, how cute! Eek, they're so cute. That one's gonna have some oozing glue around it. It's kind of hanging off the edge there. Precariously positioned on the edge. Oh my word, I love it. I love me some bling. I want to do more. I think I'll just put like 3 little dots of it somewhere else. Should I do like just right here, 3 random, because we do 3s, right? Random dots of glue, these blingies going up, or maybe going across. How cute would that be? I need to hold that cover down. These, I just noticed, didn't notice until now. These have a silver back and these have a gold back. Can you see the difference that these have a gold metal backing and these have silver, and they do have a different vibe to them, right? I already went with silver, so I better stick with it. Wish I'd noticed that before, because I might have picked the gold. I don't know where to put 3 more. Just a couple more, just to give her a little more fancy bling. Kind of feeling my original intent was just do 3 going up, just random. They're not, I'm not going to fill the whole darn thing with bling. Come on, I can't. Now why are you not coming up? I think so. I think I like this. The trick, getting glue, but not so much glue that you're going to have oozing glue, right? Like this is supposed, it's going to, this will dry, I think, very shiny, will it not? I'm looking at all my glues now. What is the best glue for this? This one has a pen tip, so like anything that has that tiny tip would be good, right? Duh! All right, we're going on the, I think everybody that I see do this, you put it on the fabric or on your surface. Come on, baby. Oh, for goodness sake, am I out? What the shite? Sorry for the language, girls. Another Tombow. Glue burger. All right, that one came out. Oh man, but it left like a glue burger. Where did my little rhinestone go? I don't know. We'll use that one. I'm just going to put 3 here because I think why not? Something fancy. 1, 2. I need you to pick up. I pick things up, I put them down. My kids are always, because they're boys, they're teenagers. So one of them is really into weightlifting. So he likes, that thing just went flying across the room. It was on my little waxy tip pen and it flew across the room. I lost her. Landon and Gannon are always, I pick things up, I put them down. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say that when he was a bodybuilder back in the day. All right, let me just quickly see, can I find that rhinestone? Can we salvage the one rhinestone that just went flying across the room? I heard it, but I do not see it. It be gone, girls. Okay. Little bling. The book is done, and I love it. I do end up loving these books, and then I think, do I really want to give it up? Yes, I will. Who's ready for an auction? Should I do an auction? I have actually not done one in a long time, and I have quite a few books waiting to find homes. So if you're here, even if you're catching the replay, let me know. Are you ready for an auction? You guys ready for an auction? Ooh, I got my bra showing. I got my brush. I cut the neck of a lot of these t-shirts now because I can't stand them, these traditional t-shirts being up on my neck. So I've been cutting them, and I'm kind of learning the right amount to cut off so that it's not like a Flashdance shirt, where she always had her one shoulder showing. So this one was the first one that I did, and I did cut up too much. So now it does become like a Flashdance shirt, but that wasn't my original intent. This is like I'm at home. Not a lot of people are going to see me today. I did go to the yard sale on this, and it says, it's a good day to make art. That's what it says on it. It's cute, but the neck was like, restricting me. So I had to get rid of that neckline. All right, girls, this book is completely done. Completely done. This is part 4. I've been live the last 4 lives that I've done every Friday was working on this book. I will make a playlist series for this book here on the YouTube channel. It has not been created yet, but if you just look for Spaghetti Box part 1, 2, 3, and 4, we are now done with this book, and now it can go into my sale. I'm going to leave. You absolutely could put something, I don't know, we'll see. You could put something here, like a metal embellishment, a tag, more rhinestones, but I kind of like it the way it is. And I will find some type of tie to hold it closed because it wants to pop open. So I'm going to find some kind of chiffon or something to tie it closed for the auction. So those things will be done by auction. All right, ladies. Go have a beautiful, blessed day. Make something pretty that brings your heart joy. Thank you for being here with me while I finish this book. And I will catch you next time on The Comfy Nest of Grace. Bye.